Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing good today. So we were talking in the chat if I'm feeling better. So for anybody that doesn't know, we went to Disneyland and I brought home some COVID. So that was fun. Luckily, I got a pretty weak dealing of it. It really was just like a mild cold, but a little bit of head fog, and I'm still kind of getting over it, trying to battle keeping myself quarantined from my dad and all this stuff, but I'm doing okay, and I think it's going to be pretty fun today making these candy cane blanks. Actually, I got a few of them. I already made some. I was so excited about this that I already made some for the subscription boxes. So look at that. That's going to be pretty sweet. I'm excited about it. Let's switch to the overhead camera. So we got some 3D prints going on here, and Nikki and I actually adjusted the triple helix model. So I have the previous one also. I apologize if I'm a little out of it or have to clear my throat or sneeze. I love getting sick. It's so much fun. So we tightened up the spirals, and just to make make it a little bit more candy cane-ish, or sort of like that anyway. So that's what we're going to be making today, some pen blanks that look like candy canes. It's going to be pretty sweet, I think. I'm pretty excited about this, and so as long as I don't get like sick again or sicker or whatever, I'll be turning one of these guys up on Saturday. So it should be pretty fun. So today's stream is going to be kind of quick, kind of short, partly just because I didn't want to be like, I kind of go in waves with this COVID. I get kind of like tired sometimes, and then I'm like, oh, I'm great and I feel perfect. And then, so luckily right now I turn the cameras on and I'm in the I feel perfect stage kind of. My voice is probably, I'm a little nasally, but I think we're going to be fine. But I thought let's just do kind of a quick batch of these things for the stream, and then we'll turn one up on Saturday, and hopefully everything will be good. So oh, you can only stay if I got COVID, which was sad because I really didn't think that I had it, because I kind of had like a sore throat. It was just like a super mild cold, and I'm like, I better take a test. And so I was being cautious when I got back in the shop. The minute I started kind of feeling funky, I was like, masked up and all that stuff. Luckily, we have a 4,000 square foot shop, and so my dad stays in the front most of the time, and I'm in the back, and I've just been wearing a mask any of the areas that we kind of stay together. But yeah, so now I took the test, and the only test that I had was like expired, and it came up positive, and I'm like, ugh. Now we got to go buy another test. And I don't know if for anybody that's taking the test, sticking that thing up your nose, I am horrible at that. Oh my God. It drives me crazy. It was literally, I was like, I'd rather be waterboarded than do this again. So we had to go get new tests, and it came up positive also. And I'm like, oh, man, really? So luckily, the good news is I think that the shots, the vaccines, probably are the reason why it's really just like a mild cold. But my head is kind of, you're like out of it when you're sick. So anyway, I don't care about COVID, whatever. Disneyland was fun, by the way. We had a really good time. We went to both California Adventure and Disneyland, and we pretty much got every ride that we wanted in. The only one, and we just totally, it slipped our minds. We would have had time, but the only one we didn't do was Haunted Mansion. So anyway, oh, Gretchen's here. Yeah, the test was horrible. I'm putting it off. I'm hoping that by Sunday I'll test negative again. So I'm waiting like 7 full days. I'm hoping that that'll be good. Yeah, oh man, it would have been horrible. I was crying, and I was like, it was horrible. We should probably take a picture of that. So anyway, guys, I'm pretty excited. So what we're gonna do is these, the 3D prints, when you print these guys out, they fit perfectly into a PVC pipe. You could adjust these down. So, I just started making the Gatling molds. These are silicone. These are dead on 3/4 inch, cylinders in this. PVC pipes are actually like 0.81. They're just a little bit over 3/4 inch. And so the 3D prints, as they are meant to fit into a PVC pipe perfectly. But you could slightly adjust these down, the dimensions of them, like just like shrink every dimension of this model. Just a little, I don't know what the actual percentage would have to be. You could probably do it by math, I guess. But just slightly shrink all of the dimensions down, and it would fit in something like this. It's a little too tight, you know, to fit in there because it's a little bit bigger, you know, like I said, when you print it out. So I got links to all of my 3D print files, and this one's called Triple Helix. Actually, shoot, I need to update the file on that. I totally forgot. I would say hold off a little bit. I'll get this done after the stream. I need to update the actual file that you download if you buy this. Where are we at? Live stream. So here's a link to the prints. And again, these are for if you have a 3D printer and you want to print these out. These are not, it's not to sell like actual physical things. It's a digital download. So, oh yeah, the candy sticks. True. All right, so let's see here. What? Hugs and high fives. Is Amy? Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was seriously, we went without getting COVID. And the thing is, we don't really go out a lot. We're not like hanging out, but we did eat at restaurants and stuff. And on the other hand, we also live in like a super tiny town. But on the other hand, people around here just don't care. They're like, I ain't wearing a mask ever. And so like, I don't know, there's a lot of things. And we're like, we didn't get it for like, 2 years or whatever. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm immune. Nope. Go to Disneyland, you'll get it right away. There's kids coughing and sneezing everywhere. All right, so we got our models. Now, one other thing that I wanted to mention is I made some holiday themed blanks. Holiday theme. These are sweet. I really like these blanks. So we got pen blanks, and this is what we're going to be making. This is it. So there's 12, and actually 2 of them are already gone. People must have saw them on my website. So we got 12 pen blanks, and we got 4 of the stoppers. Now I might pour another round of stoppers if a lot of people like them, but they're available on my website right now. So I wanted to let you guys know about those. And where are they at? So they're just under the limited editions category, so I'll just link to that one. And one other thing real quick also, if you didn't see before, I also made some pumpkin spice blanks. And one of these days I need to turn these, but so these are also available in that limited editions. So you got some orange, kind of brownish golds and whites, kind of like pumpkin spice lattes or pumpkin pies. So we got holiday blanks, and all of those are for a limited time. I'm not going to be pouring, like keep them in stock. So if you want them, I recommend go get them quick. And then one other thing that I wanted to mention, we put an email out today hinting at some Black Friday deals coming up. We got some serious deals that are going to be going on this weekend, starting Friday. I'll let you guys know. And again, on the 3D prints, for 2 reasons. I would hold off. Don't buy them today if you want to pick up the 3D print files or my ebook. So on Friday through Monday, both the ebook and all the 3D print files, they're going to be on sale. The ebook's going to be, so the beginner's guide to resin casting, if you're getting into resin casting, that's going to be on sale for 50%, for 50% off. So it's only $5. And I always do this sale for Black Friday. So if you want to pick up the ebook, $5, and then the 3D print files are going to be 25% off. So all of them. So I would hold off. I wouldn't buy, these 3D print files until this weekend. And those 2 are going to be going all weekend. And then on Saturday and Monday, we're going to be dropping some other deals. So keep your eyes peeled on Facebook and Instagram, as well as my email newsletter. We'll be sending out emails and social medias and all that stuff for all the good sales. So I'm pretty excited. It's going to be pretty fun. So I want to send you some pumpkin pie? Heck yeah. I just picked one up today. All right, so let's get all this stuff out of the way. I feel like I've been talking. I'm already tired. Oh, man. Whew. Good thing we're only doing 1 pour today. Yeah, that was a super bummer. I come back and there's all this Black Friday stuff I got to get ready for and all these things. I had a huge order, and I'm like, I feel terrible. So not as terrible as I gotta be honest, like I said, I really got lucky on this with getting sick, because I usually get absolutely horribly sick where I'm just like laid up in bed, even just colds. And so this was actually honestly weaker than my typical cold. So I think, like I said, I'm gonna say thank goodness I got the vaccine, because I think it really diminished how bad I got this. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, obviously, I think somebody said that they were going to bet something on, we're going with white. So we're going to go with white on these. The first step, though, is what we need to do is get some, I can't think, mold release spray in these PVC pipes. So I'm going to be using the Stoner urethane mold release. This is the one that I use. I use it for pretty much everything, but urethane is what alumilite clear slow is. So that's why definitely you want to use the purple one for alumilite clear and clear slow. But I use this for epoxy as well, and it works just fine. So it's the one that I use pretty much for everything, but I think most mold releases are going to work. But what I do recommend is use something that, you know, if you have a certain brand of resin, the brand probably has mold releases on their website. That's what I would recommend going with if you're going to pick one up. Or like I said, the purple Stoner works fine. But just use one that's meant to be used for resin casting, and I think you're going to get better results. That's just to be safe. Some people say, oh, you can use like cooking sprays and all these things, and that may be, you know, it may be possible to use that stuff, but you could run into the problem of you know, it may react with your resin possibly. And so, you know, I mean, really, I wouldn't recommend, you know, the resin costs more than the mold release. So I would just spend the money, get a mold release meant for resin, and make sure that you don't waste resin if there is a problem. One other reason why I would say that I would recommend going with you know, a product that's made for resin casting is if you do run into a problem and you've used some kind of weird substance for mold release, you know, who's to say that that was the problem, right? So this is another reason why I'm always like, you know, when it comes to like mica powders and other things that you're going to be putting into your resin, I always go with stuff that is, you know, sold by, marketed for resin casting, just in case you run into a problem. You can't throw that out then it could have been the mold release, or it could have been the mica powder that you didn't know if it actually worked or not. I'd rather eliminate as many things that can, you know, cause a problem or could potentially cause a problem. That way, when there is a problem, it's easier to diagnose. All right, so that's just kind of the way that I've always done it. So we got our tubes and our plugs. Oh, one other thing that I want to mention, and I think I'm pretty sure it's already in the description of this video, is a link to the plugs, and you can get these at Turner's Warehouse, as well as Turner's Warehouse has clear PVC pipes now. I don't know if I've even mentioned this before. They got a couple different sizes, but 3/4 inch is one of them. So if you need to pick up clear PVC pipes and plugs, Turner's Warehouse has you covered, because they got everything. They got everything at the warehouse. So let me yeah, I would not do not use WD-40. I'm almost certain that's actually going to cause a problem. It's got some weird stuff in it. You don't know what the ingredients are. Definitely, I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah. Go with something that is good. All right, so we're getting our pipes ready here. They are on sale this week. Man, I'm telling you guys. Yeah, Turner's Warehouse is having some serious deals. Make sure, if you guys haven't yet, just in case I don't share stuff, I try to share as much as I can when I see it from them. But make sure to sign up for their email newsletter, because they're going to be dropping emails also, you know, on their social medias and all that kind of stuff too. But you know, they got everything in the email newsletter. I just got my copy today, and I was looking at that and I was like, oh man, serious deals going. Serious deals. Okay, So I'm gonna get some gloves on. Let's see. Let's see if I missed any other stuff. 15% off all the molds. Oh man. Yeah, just to let you guys know, since we're dropping a little hints and all that. Kid Cooper, what's up, man? Yeah, the trip was great. We had a good time. You know, so I was actually talking to my buddy Michael Barr about the rides, and also Gretchen and I talked about this. The one ride that really blew my mind that I really didn't expect was going to be super awesome was the Incredicoaster, which is, I think it's been there for like ever. That one was so much fun, and I didn't really have high expectations of that one. There's all these new rides and all that you're like, oh, these are going to be great. That one blew my mind. I was like, that was the most fun I've had ever, and it wasn't a very long wait. I was a little disappointed with the Millennium Falcon ride, but I'm not going to go into it if you haven't ridden it yet. Overall, the Star Wars World, the new one, was awesome, and also the Avengers Land, Avengers like Campus or whatever, was awesome. One of the cool things now is, and I just haven't been there for a while, but at Avengers Campus, there was like Avengers, you know, like we saw Spider-Man, we saw Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, like all these characters were like all over the place in there. So it was really kind of cool to see that. And then there's also characters in Star Wars Land too. We saw Boba Fett and Chewie and Stormtroopers. Excuse me. and we actually got to interact with the Stormtroopers. It was kind of, I wish we had that on camera, on video. This like troop of Stormtroopers is walking through, and they look at us, and Gretchen like puts her hands up, and this Stormtrooper comes over and he's like, let's just calm down, okay? Let's just calm down, or something like, he said something like that. It was hilarious. They got to have fun with us. So let's see. You can't mix, yeah, you don't want to mix resin in there. Let's see here. Reed and Richards. Let's see. Cast some 3-inch alumilite slow. Hard as glass. Oh. Sometimes, well, stabilized wood can be pretty hard. Sometimes. That's one of the big reasons why I use carbide a lot. I don't know what kind of tools you're using, but carbide handles that if that does happen. Sometimes stabilized wood can be really hard. That's the only thing I can think of. All right, so let's get going here. So we need, I'm trying to think how much resin I need here. I think these pipes take some, I don't know, I'm just gonna estimate like 50 grams probably per pipe. I'm gonna roll back. See, this is why I keep notes. I'm looking at my notebook. I'm gonna roll back and see what we poured for the last time we did this type of thing. Actually, yeah. Actually, I just poured these. What did I pour? I just poured some of these things. What did I pour them at? There it is. Yeah. Okay, so I went with 50 grams. So we're going to go with 50 grams per tube of resin. Let's flip over to the, I say negative rake. Yeah, well, just carbide in general. If you're turning really hard stuff, because if you're using high-speed steel tools, you know, just your standard gouges and stuff, I mean, you're going to be sharpening like the whole time. It's just going to be terrible. So carbide can handle those really hard things. And you know, you can go either way. I usually just go with the negative rake, but in some cases, the standard ones can sometimes handle, they're more aggressive, so they may actually handle something like that. You may be able to turn it faster. I'm not certain. Like, this is the problem, is you may get more like kind of chipping with the standard carbide cutter versus the negative rake ones. They're not going to like chip out stuff because they're less aggressive. That negative rake on it that's dipping down is just less aggressively cutting the material. So either way, but you're just not going to have to sharpen, and it's going to get through the hard material a little bit easier. All right, so let's flip to this overhead view. So you could actually, with these, you can do it either way. You can pour the resin in and then drop these guys down, or you can just drop them in. The resin will flow around. There's enough like kind of airspace that you can just drop these guys in, and you're fine. All right. So let's move this guy. So we did the pumpkin seeds last time. All right, so today is 11/23, man. All right, so who is ready for Thanksgiving? Do you guys have any like cool like Thanksgiving Day traditions or over the weekend? You know, like either family things or like Black Friday things. Do you guys like do the camp out thing to get the coolest thing that's on like super sale? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to see that. I wish I had somebody talking in my ear because I want to hear about these things. So I'll try to look up when I can. All right, so we got 6 pipes. So 6 times 50. I am in no mood to do any mental math today. 6 times 50. 300 grams. So that's 150. So we're using alumilite clear slow, like I said. And this is a 1-to-1 mix ratio by weight. We're going to be using our scale. So 150 times 2, 150 of part A, 150 of part B. And then we're going to add some white dye to it. We're going to add, let me just do some, I'm not going to give you a percentage. I'm just going to give you the number because I do things kind of weird when I'm estimating. We're going to add about, I'm going to add about 5 grams of white dye. And it's just the Alumilite brand white dye. I have them in these little bottles. They look a little bit different nowadays when you order. It comes in these types of bottles now. But I've had them in the old bottles. This is just like their old bottle version for a long time. And what I do is I go through a lot of dye, so I just buy the gigantic thing and then fill these little 1-ounce bottles that I've had forever. So just to let you know, it's just Alumilite white dye. All right, so I think we're ready. Let's mix up some resin. That should be good enough. That cup right there, you guys can see everything. Everything's going good. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way. Get our part A going. Knocked down, that's not cool at all. Staying away from sales is your goal. Yep. I know, I don't like all the crowds and all that stuff. All right, it's 150 grams, part A. Yeah, Gretchen likes the parade. I'm not a big parade fan. Football, I'd rather watch. To be honest, I never remember like what games or what what day on Christmas or any of these holidays. A lot of times, like we work. I mean, I'm going to be working, so we don't do like a whole lot of stuff like over the entire weekend. And then this year we can't see our family even because we're on COVID lockdown protocols. Luckily, well, I guess I don't know if it's lucky or not, but my sister was going to host us, and she got sick. She doesn't have COVID, but she has, I don't know whatever the newest terrible virus that everybody's catching around here. She's had it for like a week and a half, so we had to cancel that anyway. So whatever, we'll just have to cook a turkey another day. So 150 grams of part B. This year, just because I've been keeping an eye on economic junk, which I usually don't too much, but lately things are just crazy, and I've been kind of keeping an eye on things with the inflation and all that. And it seems like a lot of retailers are overstocked with things because everybody was buying during the lockdowns. They were buying stuff online and people overbought, and then you had supply chain issues. All these things were going on. And it kind of created a perfect storm for a lot of, you know, now we have inflation, so people aren't spending as much money, supposedly. So there's a possibility that there's going to be like overstocks. And so I'm like, well, we don't really need a TV, but ours is like really old. So like I'm gonna keep an eye on TVs and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we order most of our stuff online. Yeah, we're gonna be getting a good meal. Gretchen got us hooked up. But yeah, it kind of sucked that we couldn't hang out with our families. Flu, yeah. Yeah, my nephew, he gets sick like every other week. It's horrible. I don't know. Metric ton of food. Nice. Wow. I'm coming to your place. Well, not this year, but next year I'm coming to your place, Chris. That sounds amazing. Wow. Parmesan potatoes. Crunchy Thai. Wow. That's a spread right there. Oh, Philip, that sucks. Yeah, there's something going around. Yeah, what time do you want us to come over? All right, so when you're mixing up resin, you always want to scrape the sides and the bottom of the cup real well. I actually cut. This is just a popsicle stick, and so typically the popsicle sticks come with rounded ends. I actually cut mine on the table saw to make them flat so that they'll scrape the bottom of the cup real good. You don't have to do that, but it just gets in the corner real well and all that stuff. What you don't want is there's going to be a residue. So I poured the part A in first, right? And so the part A is going to be kind of around the bottom of the cup and the side. And then you pour the part B in, and that's going to be on the top part of the cup side. So you always want to make sure that you're scraping all that stuff off, because it technically could lead to a ratio issue. Usually it'd have to be a lot smaller amount, but you could kind of throw off the mix ratio a little bit if you didn't get it all mixed up. But the other thing is, if some of that unmixed resin kind of ends up in your blank, you're going to have like these little pockets of goo that don't cure, and so you always want to make sure that you're mixing it real well, getting it all the little part A's and part B's mixed up. So scrape that cup real well. And then I'm going to put this on there, and we're going to put, what did I say, 5 grams of white dye in here. I want to make it nice and white. So that should be pretty good. 25-pound turkey. Woo-wee. There we go, 5 grams. I gotta refill this one. Keep that out. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you too. $2,000 plane ticket, yeah. Chili and a pie. That sounds good too, though. Oh, you had one last Saturday. Nice. All right, so we got everything mixed in, and this is a case where there's no reason to wait for any special temperature or anything like that. What I am going to do though is kind of pour it a little bit thin and try and fill up that center tube hole a little bit, and just kind of let it sink down into there, so that I'm not trapping a ton of air pockets and bubbles and stuff. You'll probably see this thing's going to be kind of burping up some air bubbles and stuff. But either way you do it, even if you pour the resin in first, it's still going to have to kind of evacuate some air as that 3D model goes down in there. So I just, like I said, pour slow and And my other recommendation is really fill up the tube, because you can probably see this thing bubbling a little bit. Let's see if you can get in here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's bubbles coming out of this thing. So, you know, get it kind of filled up pretty far in each one of these each one of these tubes. And then you might want to actually come back and kind of top things off as air bubbles kind of, you know, like I said, kind of burp out of there. That's going to kind of lower the resin level in the tube. And so you know, I always recommend like really top off your blanks just in case when you pressurize it or as it's curing, air bubbles, you know, go away. That's going to open up some volume for resin. So basically your resin level will drop as that air evacuates. So top it up as good as you can. That way if the level drops, you don't go below the level of the 3D print. Another reason to pour right away in this case, so you know, when we're doing the temperature thing and we're waiting for a specific temperature, what we're doing is actually waiting for it to kind of thicken up. But if you're only pouring one color, then you don't have to worry about colors bleeding. That's kind of the reason that we wait when you're mixing colors together. That way they don't bleed together. But in this case, you actually want to pour, you know, right away because it's going to be thinner. And it'll be able to kind of flow around, you know, all the little helix things in this, and get into all the little crevices real quick. If I waited till it was really thick, then there, you know, you could run into the issue where it doesn't actually kind of flow around and you have like gaps. So actually, one thing that we used to do that was like my own personal family, you know, my parents and grandparents, we would actually, back in the day when I was really young, we would actually go to Reno and shop. So like, and I think this was kind of, I don't know if this was how a lot of people did it. A lot of people did this, but Black Friday used to just be like, I mean, there was maybe some sales, but people actually just went shopping that day for like Christmas shopping. I think is how that all kind of started. And so we'd go to Reno to the mall, and it'd be kind of cool. We'd go to a movie usually, like a big kind of family outing thing. But there wasn't like these like crazy sales. I mean, there might have been some sales going on or whatever, but, and it was packed, but it was just you're at the mall on a busy day. We'd go to dinner, catch a movie. It was kind of cool. So again, I'm going back and I'm just topping these guys off just to make sure. All right. Sometimes I like kind of tap them just to kind of, if there's any bubbles or anything going on. Might help free it up. Ah, the 80s, I know. Let's see here, intro. Just angle you guys down. Yeah, they'll fit. Okay. And into the pressure pot we go. Before I do that, I'm going to show you guys what these things look like. I mean, you already saw kind of, you know, the one finished blank, but pretty cool looking. Got all these things. So again, Nikki, like I said, kind of made more spirals, tightened the spiral screw. on the triple helix. So it's the original file. The triple helix thing is what I use, but we did alter that print. I do need to update that on the website. And for anybody that already bought the old triple helix 3D print, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to upload a PDF file, or yeah, PDF that has both. And so you'll get notified that there's like an update, and you'll be able to download the new version without having to pay for the update. And then we're going to pressurize that. We're going to about 60 psi. Never over pressurize your pot. Whatever the max is, don't go over that. All right, and then that'll be ready to rock in a few hours. Let's see here. We're going to switch back to this view real quick. We'll dump the rest of our white into here. We got our Happy Fun cup ready to rock. I know. I could pressurize, but I always forget, and we'll do a test. We'll make sure that these things are okay. I think it'll be all right without pressurizing it, but you want to pressurize. Well, you do have to pressurize alumilite clear slow. Otherwise, there will be some air bubbles in there. But I don't think they're going to be that big of a deal for a Happy Fun cup. I think they'll be all right, but you don't want to generally do that. And then I'm going to wipe the stick off, and it's ready to be used again. Look at that. Pretty fun. All right, so let's see here. Switch back to this view, see what's happening. Oh, I missed Amy leaving. Well, have a good one, Amy. I'll be calling down once all the craziness of this weekend subsides. I know you guys are busy. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, so Kid Cooper was kind of up a little further up, was talking about the over ordering and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I know some people seem to be a little bit overloaded with certain stock, and other places are still low on things. Like, I don't know, things are crazy right now. So let's see. I'm gonna scroll down. Yeah, I gave you the day off. Yeah, happy birthday, Mike. What's on sale right now? Ah, yeah, the clear PVC pipe. So, and I have links to the clear PVC pipe as well as the little silicone plugs. Turner's Warehouse sells clear PVC pipe in 3/4 inch and I want to say like 1.5, maybe even 4. So there's a couple sizes available, but 3/4 for sure. And that is linked directly to that one down in the description below. And that is an affiliate link down there. So if you click that and then check out, then I actually get a little referral bonus from you spending money. It doesn't cost you a dime. And they are on sale, 15% off on pipes, on the molds and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's going to be pretty awesome. So let's see here. Is there anything else? Galleria Mall, Buffalo. The mall after the Super Bowl? Oh man. Angry shopping. You don't want that. No. No. See, the after Thanksgiving thing, it was all happy, and it also, like, back, that was like when things like changed, like you go to like the mall, and that I remember is like, that's when the like holiday decorations really kind of came out, I as far as I remember anyway. So like the mall was all Christmassy, Santa was there, I think, and it was kind of a big deal in Reno. A lot of people went out. A Happy Fun skull, that's so cool. Nice. I can't wait to see that. All right, so I think, oh, Al, yeah. So I used to sell wool, and there's nothing against the Wolverines. I'm actually a Michigan fan. My buddy went there for dental school. The problem is I used to sell them, but the alumilite blue dye, and actually all of them, but I use these ones. The alumilite blue and yellow dyes, they bleed really, really, really bad. And so what you would end up with is a Wolverine's blank with green in it. And there was nothing I could do. I would wait, and I'm using a little bit different resin. You can get away with it with the Divine pigments, but I don't make those blanks, the team color blanks. I don't make them with alumilite clear. I use alumilite white for my team color blanks. And there's just no way for me to get blue and yellow to mix without bleeding and adding green. And I'm going, any Wolverine fan is going to be like, there's green in this. So I just gave up. I had to pull them. I could do it with like, mica powders or something, but I want to keep my team color blanks the same resin because it's a slightly different thing. I apologize for that. I wish the stuff would not bleed. It's terrible though. Yeah, you do not want green in a Michigan blank, so I just gave up. It was just, and it was bad enough that I'm looking at it just going, oh, these are terrible. So I discontinued making them. But I'm always on the lookout for trying to figure out a way to do it. The problem is I can use Divine pigments, but you have to use so much, and that stuff is so expensive that I haven't done it yet. But this one's not too bad. I don't see any green in this one. This one is the best that I've gotten. Maybe like it kind of looks like there's a little bit, but I mean it's really not that bad. You should have seen the other one. I mean there was green in it. It was horrible. So I don't know. If I can figure it out and it's not going to cost $57 per blank to make, I will definitely be adding them. So anyway, guys, that's all that I have today. I know that was kind of quick, but again, we are going to be doing lots of sales over the break over the weekend. Friday is like it's kind of funny because the digital products are actually the first ones, which maybe would have made more sense to do on Cyber Monday, but I wanted to have those things go all weekend. So the ebook and the 3D print files, those guys are going to be on super steep discount, 50% off on the ebook, and then 25% off on all the 3D print files. So hold off. And again, if you want to pick up the Helix that we did today, definitely hold off because I haven't updated the files yet. Even if you buy it, it'll allow you to re-download it once I update it. But you're better off waiting until Friday and everything will be ready to go then. And that's all the 3D print files that are on my website. And then I'm going to give you guys another little hint. So on Saturday, I'm super stoked. Saturday, if you need aluminum honeycomb, that's going to be a super discount as well on aluminum honeycomb. So keep your eyes peeled on social media and also sign up for the email newsletter so you don't miss out on what's going on. But that's all the deals will be going. The ebook and the 3D prints are not going to require a code or anything like that. They're just going to be on sale, so you can just head to the website. But keep your eyes peeled on social medias because there's going to be a code for the aluminum honeycomb, and we're going to have even more sales on Monday for other stuff. So they will require a code. So anyway, yeah, I know Michigan State fans. Exactly. So anyway, let's see here. I think that's about it. And then again, the holiday blanks are also available now, and they're going to be limited inventory. When they're gone, they're gone. There's the pumpkin spice one, and then the holiday pine cones. So I don't know if I mentioned that. These are pine cone blanks. So we got a few of the stopper size, and then we got about a dozen pen blanks available right now. And yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. So anyway, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you're celebrating it, and if you already celebrated it in October, you should just go get some more turkey and stuffing and whatever, and just celebrate both. I mean, why not? If you're Canadian. Let's see. Is there anything else that I need to mention? Sales, blanks. I think that's about it, guys. So we will see once these guys are done. We will turn one of them up on Saturday's live stream, as long as I'm not I haven't had some weird COVID resurgence and I'm on my deathbed. I think I'm out of the woods at this point. But so Saturday we'll turn one of these guys up. It should be fun. I can't wait to see what these things look like turned. I think it's going to be awesome. And anyway, guys, I hope you, like I said, have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys on Saturday. keep your eyes peeled on the socials for all the sales. We're going to be having lots of good stuff. So anyway, guys, I'll see you on the next stream. Thanks for coming out for this one. That was a weird ending. Thanks for coming out for this one. And I'll see you guys on the next stream. That's a much better like ending right there. So anyway, have a good night, guys. I'll see you on the next stream.